Who the greatest? No, not the latest. Ain't that debatable? Yeah. Check the stats. This the Jared Willer Ryan show 9, no days off. You been grinding, I've been grinding too. Made it through the storm, great clouds. You see me shining through champion and state of mind. I've been ballin' better D up. After we win it all, that's the only time my feet up. Blood, sweat, tears, hard work with the passion, the killer in the game. I hop in and go assassin. Nah, I can't be average. Nah, I can't be last. It's always first or nothing. Doubter said I was bluffing. See him after I went like I thought you was saying something. I told him that I was coming, gun in the hand drumming. Shit shots at my fears, who thought they were in the running? Why would I be nervous? I've been training for this day. I'll be like a freight train, any problems in my way. Never complain, they said okay, I'll follow my dream even if it don't pay. But anyway, what you say, I'm too busy getting paid. Tunnel vision on my goals, like success gon' be my fate. Pray to God he take my soul if I die before I wake. Give it everything you got, cause that's what it's gonna take. And don't wait, do it now. They say time is of the essence. From a kid to a king, you are now in the presence of a new creature, adapted new features. Remember when I was a student, now I'm brighter than my teachers. Don't worry if I spit, cause if I do it be that ether. I got stripes just like a zebra. Up a level I might lead ya. How to play too hard to see ya. I'ma heat up in the winter. They gon' look at me like Scar, but I'm really more like Simba. Always been the realest. I can't hang around pretenders talking like I ain't gang, but I know a couple members ain't tripping about the beat. Focused on the bigger picture, dreams in the headlock. Like you thought I wouldn't get you grinding like I never ate. Can't make no pivotal mistake. Do we wanna be good or great? Steady now, pick up the pace. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, now we moving weight. Power of the jungle, cause time we gon' release the 8. And I'm still gon' keep my faith. God with me, so I'm straight. I'm the fire in the lake. I put the devil in this place. I don't think it's no debate. It's my time to make a shake. I done did away with fear. Doubt no longer welcome here. I just had to make it clear you wasn't deaf and you can hear. Opponent win it won't be easy. Game colder than the freezy. Early stages of my grind and I was young, they ain't believe me. So in my older days, all this ballin' got them queasy.
And welcome to another episode of That's Debatable on the Score On Air Network here at Ohio Media School in Columbus, Ohio. I am Ryan Dietrich, and I'm going to kick it over to my two co-hosts. You know them, Jeremiah Bays and Will Ward. What's happening, boys?
What up, bro?
What's going on, people?
Yeah. Great weekend, because I had a rough week last week, bruh. Want to know something? Want to know a secret? I got stuck under a bridge, boys.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I got stuck under a goddamn bridge, man. Yeah, they sent me to Mansfield to make some drops, and boom. Yeah.
I gotcha.
GPS took me the wrong way in the truck, you feel me? And trying to turn around. See, I made it through the one way, you feel me? So that was cool. But the other way, it's a whole different level. Did not fit the clearance. Didn't even make it halfway through. Had to tow me out. They tried to keep me in Mansfield for hours, fam. I'm like, bro, you ain't taking this truck and you ain't keeping me here. You got me up. Like, we gonna work. It's like, nah, but yeah. But great sports weekend. Great sports weekend for me. Buckeyes did them dirty. My Vikings got the dub, and I ain't got to wear no Packer jersey today. Thank you, Lord. You feel me? I'm gonna just be eating cheese periodically throughout the show. You feel me?
Like it.
That's the type of time I'm on. Starting right now. What's up, Will? How you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing great, feeling good, feeling great, still alive, still kicking. Over the weekend, I got to do a little sideline camera work for the playoff game between Springfield and Marysville. Springfield came in and got a shutout against the number 1 seed, Marysville. I took them down 27-0. So shout out to the Wildcats of Springfield. It's going to be moving on to the Final Four of the state finals. Saturday, of course, you know, we already seen how those Buckeyes was rolling. Checked them out. And yesterday, you know, chilled out again. Watched them Bengals get a dub.
Okay. Yeah. Snag that from your IG, Will.
Right on.
Look at you.
Yeah, like I said, it was very cold outside, but that's what you can expect from Ohio in November. And that team, led by the quarterback, they did really good things. So they was a proud team. That was their 3rd straight regional finals championship. So they're going to be moving on. And we'll see how they're going to turn out. But other than that, just glad to be back. Glad to be here for another show with you guys. And we'll see what the rest of the show holds.
I like it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. With that, a little bit of my weekend with the Score on Air Network. We went down on Saturday, had a high school boys hockey broadcast. The Score on Air Network broadcasted St. Charles High School versus the Upper Arlington Golden Bears down at the Ice House at Nationwide Arena. So very exciting. Quite a big crowd for some high school hockey on a Saturday night. Good game. UA won 2-1. Excuse me. And with that, the Score on Air Network does have some upcoming broadcasts of high school boys hockey. For instance, I'll throw these up for you. So November 20th was what we just had happen on Saturday. Okay. We've got a handful more coming up over the next few weeks. And then as well, the Capital Hockey Conference will have the CBJ Cup and districts later in February and March. But there's what the Score on Air Network will be broadcasting for high school boys hockey over the next month. And I will also kick on some high school boys basketball. You've got the Centennial Stars in there, Bishop Hartley, St. Charles. So coming up
Shout
here
out Score.
tomorrow or here in 2 days and then in January. So a few things to keep an eye out for at the Score on Air Network here at Ohio Media School.
As far as that Centennial Stars against South, I'll be broadcasting that game, be calling that game
All right.
alongside my man Ruben Davis.
Yeah.
So we'll be there. I did an interview with Centennial's head coach along with 3 other players. I did that this past Thursday. So those boys are excited. First game of the season. The first year head coach for Centennial is going to be facing his old coach that he was underneath. So like I said, those boys are excited. It's going to be fans back in the stands. Those kids didn't get to play because of COVID in front of fans last year. So everybody's excited right now. So we're going to see how that turns out.
Like it. Always good to get some experience doing some play-by-play or color commentary. Excuse me. And if you haven't heard Will before, check that out. He's got some skills. Giving the boys a live broadcast will be an exciting one. All right. So we've got a little late getting going tonight at 7 o'clock. We've got ourselves a short, quick, fast hour. So we're going to hit you with some college football. Jared and Will are going to debate, the Heisman frontrunners, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. We'll let the boys talk about the Minnesota Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals. Their 2 teams rolling. I'm going to throw in my 49ers as well. We'll recap NFL Week 11. Ballers of the Week. Upcoming Week 12, we're going to talk about some Thanksgiving Day food. We'll let the boys debate best side dishes. We've got Superman cape, NBA, all those good things. Jared's going to break down the NBA with Jared's levels, have you keeping an eye on what teams to watch.
Banger last night. So literally.
We're getting rolling hot and fast. So with that, I'll take us into some college football. So quick
college
rundown.
Football, it's that time. Hey, it's that week. It's a big week. It's that week. I gotta get turned up. Hey, my mom does be turned up, so I gotta be turned up for them Buckeyes. Yeah, big CJ Stroud about to go into Ann Arbor and, blow that thing up. You would have thought Bin Laden was in there. Can I say that? I don't know. But either way it goes, it's going to blow up. I don't care. Just like he did against Michigan State, 49-0 at the, McLeod came in through that little pick or whatever. It's cool. Do your thing, dog. Game been over with, done. Locked the seal. He couldn't get the record, but he did tie Haskins and a few others with the 6 touchdowns in the game. And I think he had all 6 touchdowns in the first half, if I'm not mistaken.
It was all first half.
Bro, been balling. Of course, we got the weapons, and he just slinging it. He's finally woken up. We already said that the haters been quiet, and now the haters is really on hush. You got Michigan fans trying to chirp a little bit because they won big too, but once you stomp out Lil Bro, it's that time. And I said that M word. Oops, my bad. We ain't supposed to say no M's, none of that. X's on everything. Ooh, the spike on that. You know what it is.
For those not in Ohio, it's a big weekend around here. Ohio State, Michigan's coming into the house.
Game.
It's the game.
It's the biggest game in America, though. Not just because we're in, live in the city. big 614, but it's the biggest game in America, the world. They know about OSU and Michigan. Michigan fans still turn, but we got the whole same record, bro. Come on, man. It's a whole new millennium, and you only won 2 games, fam.
It was a big one. Ohio State turned it on. Michigan State. It's that time of year. The college football playoff rankings are out, so the AP Top 25 is kind of obsolete. So the top 10 with that should stay mostly the same, but your big upsets, number 3, Oregon getting spanked at Utah.
Yes, sir.
Number 3, Oregon loses 7-38. So Oregon was number 3 in the CFP. The rankings come out tomorrow, so obviously they'll move down. Ohio State should move up to number 3. The big question will be is if undefeated Cincinnati can jump the Buckeyes or, move to 4, go to 3. They are undefeated. They took care of business against SMU, who was a top 25 team earlier in the season. So Cincinnati had a big win at home, 48-14. Definitely, that's what they got to do is big wins to try and get some recognition at the national media. We'll see if they get that or not. But I would anticipate 1 Georgia, 2 Alabama, 3 Ohio State, and 4 Cincinnati. So number 3 Oregon loses, and then number 7 Michigan State loses as well. And the other one in the top 10 to lose would be Wake Forest. Number 10 Wake Forest went into Clemson and got handled by Clemson 27-48.
Yeah, that got ugly fast.
3 top 10 teams in the CFP lose.
Quick.
So there'll be some big shakeups. So
yeah.
Any other takeaways from the college football weekend, guys? What do you see what do you see your 4 playoff teams as?
A lot really, as the Buckeye fan, a lot really rides on what Georgia do, I feel like. Now, because if that Georgia-Bama game is so huge in so many different ways, because if Bama win and Georgia loses, now, because I know they're not going to just randomly make Georgia drop all the way out the top 4. Like, you just can't do that, even though they lost to Bama. So that's why Georgia really, really need to win that game, just to take Alabama all the way out the question. Of course, if Ohio State stumble, of course, what is this?
Those are the college football scores. Just the top 25 CFP.
Oh, yeah. Man, 56-7. That's just beautiful, bro.
So, like you said, even if Georgia loses the SEC championship.
Yeah, a lot still. Like, it's going to be a lot in question now because Bama didn't win again. So, they need to get Bama up out of there. Obviously, of course, they could root for Cincinnati could root for us losing as well, like, because we're kind of in their way as well. But as the Buckeye fan, that's not what I'm hoping for. I feel like we're in no matter what because we're going to win out because, come on, Michigan is not a thing. I could be wrong, but in 28 years of my life, I ain't been wrong that much. So, we're going to have to see. But it really rides on Georgia to me. Get Bama up out of there.
It's going to be hard to push Bama out. When they've been rolling strong, even though they stumbled this week as far as playing Auburn or Arkansas. And as far as Ohio State, they're going to be moving up, of course. They had strong output from C.J. Stroud. And being able to have a 3-headed monster now with his receiver core, in Olave, Wilson, and then Jigba. Right now, he's feeling comfortable. He's not really having to roll out of the pocket too much, and he's being able to pretty much pick apart defenses. They've been trying to put a little bit of pressure on him, but they've been that offensive coordinator is finally starting to look like he's been knowing what he's doing as far as putting Stroud in the right position and putting those boys in the winning position early in the game. You see, we put up over 48 points in 2 games, and both of those games we thought we were going to be struggling against Purdue, struggling against Michigan State, and quite frankly, they didn't even need the first team in the second half. But as far as Cincinnati, it's kind of tough to want to see them move up because you don't want to see them move up, and this is going to be they got the 1 win against Notre Dame, but to put them against the number 1 Georgia, who's rolling, you don't want to throw them into the fire to see them lose. Yeah, it'd be nice for, a non-Power 5 team to get in, but it's tough cause because, like I said, you don't want to just throw them into the lion's cage and just watch them get mauled. So, if we could, I think they are going to move up just because you've seen Oregon lose, but
Michigan goes to 5, you think?
Yeah.
It'll go to 5, but it'll be a short-lived 5.
Of course. But I'm saying, with a dominant win like that against Michigan State and a dominant win, if we dominate Michigan, because whoever come out the other side then fell off, so it don't even matter with that one. Sissy can't jump us, man. There's no way.
So how much does those championship games, how much are those going to hold precedence? Because if Georgia and Alabama face off in the SEC championship game, how are they going to be affected, and how do you see their position moving up and down?
I feel like that's what I'm saying. Georgia has to win because if Bama wins the SEC championship, then a lot of question marks, and there's going to be a lot of debate. Then there's going to be because that's all presumably if Ohio State wins out. If everybody wins out and do their thing, and Georgia falls, then it's a lot of thinking that's going to have to go into that CPF.
So what's your Final Four then, if that's the case?
Well, then unfortunately, Cincy have to go. Who's
the fourth?
Well, then again, if Bama wins, Cincy could stay because ain't nobody else gonna jump him.
That's the whole thing, right? Alabama wins the SEC championship. Alabama and Georgia got one loss each, so they're both
Michigan
in.
State right there. So Michigan State's down. Notre Dame, OSU, like none of these teams is going to make it into the CPF. So actually,
if Ohio State takes care of business and
Oregon out the way, with Oregon out the way, Cincinnati might be fine.
Right.
They actually might be. They got to win out, and they might be able to hold on to that fourth spot.
There, but can they, sustain enough power and really let that undefeated ranking, be precedence against Georgia or anybody else? Because you don't know if Alabama drops to 3.
Who's behind
Cincinnati's going to go to 4, but the rest of 1, 2, 3, that's what's going to change.
True.
So here's one. Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC championship. Does Alabama with 2 losses make it into the CFP? Because you've got undefeated Georgia. We'll assume Ohio State wins the Big Ten. So you got Georgia, the Buckeyes, undefeated Cincinnati. Who's your fourth if Alabama has 2 losses?
See, that's
one loss Oklahoma if they win the Big 12.
There's no way that they drop
in the top 10 right now.
There's no way they drop Alabama out based off of strength, just because of who they are, based off of them going. They haven't been out of the playoffs at any point since the playoffs have started. And, Alabama is going to bring in the money, the revenue is going to bring in anyways.
Right.
Clemson's not there for the first time in a while, but Alabama's still there. So I don't see how the CFP, the committee, is going to drop Alabama out because of a championship where it's 1 against 2. Somebody has to lose. So I don't think they're going to drop them all the way out. They may, at the worst, drop them to 4.
Okay.
But then that'll be Georgia will stay at number 1. Then that would just be the first round of the playoffs.
Right, but that's exactly. So there's your scenario. Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC championship. If Alabama stays at 4, then you get they play in 3 weeks after that.
One, to be childish.
Well, that's the whole point of the playoff is so you don't have a repeat match of the SEC championship. You know what I mean? But I agree with you. Is they're going to throw Alabama in there with 2 losses anyway because that's what they do. So.
Yeah, but it's only because who's behind them. The Michigan State, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, Wake Forest lost. Michigan State's out of there. Michigan gonna be out of there, and Notre Dame can't win enough to. Don't Notre Dame already got 2 losses?
I think so.
So yeah,
that's nobody out of the Pac-12.
They will only get in by default because all the other teams just fell off.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Well, and the other thing, Alabama hasn't beaten a top 10 team. They've played Florida when Florida was ranked number 11, and Florida ain't ranked anymore. So Alabama's strength of schedule isn't that tough, but that's debatable. We'll see what happens.
Next year, this year, for
but speaking of Alabama,
top 10 the most.
I know. So, all right, well, we'll see what shakes down with the CFP. It's always exciting. Hopefully, somebody in SEC loses, but Ohio State, Cincy take care of business. We should see both of them in there. And since we're talking about Alabama and Ohio State and our Heisman frontrunners, let me kick up. Let's see this real quick. All right, you mentioned their stats over the weekend, but we've got Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud up on the board. The 2 Heisman frontrunners for sure. Bryce Young torches it for almost 560 yards of passing, but C.J. Stroud, this was all in the first half, too. 32 of 35. Get out of here. What is that, 92% completion, 88%? 432, 6 passing touchdowns. So they definitely rolled. So there's your Heisman frontrunners. And so I post that question to you two. One of you take Stroud, one of you take Young. You got a few minutes. Let's debate.
Come on now, Big Smoke. You know I got CJ.
All right, know you got CJ, man. That's cool.
That's cool. Stick with the homer. All right.
I got to, man, because they really been hating on my guy all year. And
I
was kind of standoffish a bit, but then I'm like, okay, CJ, I see you. I'm seeing you. Okay, I'm running with you, fam. I think you could take us to a championship. So let's get this Heisman added to who's our last Heisman winner? Troy, that was my guy, man. Oh, and that championship was ugly. But we ain't even about to think about 41-14. In 10 games, Stroud's completed 71% of his passes, almost 3,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions on 346 attempts. So the young man's been balling. He's getting better as the games get bigger. So I haven't seen him fold under any pressure. And since that little week 2 upset, he's definitely getting better. And I'll definitely go with CJ. If they went out and once, Young fold against Georgia like I'm hoping, it's CJ's to lose.
Well, I mean, you have to start off strong and continue to keep up momentum, and that's one thing that CJ really hasn't done. And as you see the stat line just from this past week, as far as for Bryce, he threw for 31 passes, only missed 9 attempts, 559 yards.
Nice.
But you already know, like
Alabama
has where you can throw to anybody at any time, and they're going to just link up. I mean, yeah, it was an Arkansas team that's not really that strong, but still being able to face adversity when the tide was kind of getting turned, you stuck with your guns, and you got 5 touchdowns out of him. And on the season, he got 3,000 yards, 3,584 yards, 38 touchdowns, and only 3 INTs. You know, a lot of people want to say, yeah, he hasn't really faced any teams. He got, just a number 11 team at the time in Florida. And some people want to say that he's not even the best player on his team. But to be able to lead a team in the SEC and still be able to prevail and get wins, they got 1 loss, but I think that he has a good chance to become that front runner for the Heisman, but it's just how he's going to finish. So if he can go into that SEC championship game and overcome any type of adversity against Georgia, I think he has a strong chance to win that Heisman Trophy and bring it back to, unfortunately, Roll Tide country.
Unfortunately is the key word there.
Yeah, unfortunately not. So CJ's definitely – people went into the Michigan State game actually thinking Michigan State stood a chance. People actually went into the Purdue game thinking that Purdue could possibly upset us. CJ has done nothing but ball out, lights out, and the spotlight has been on him more. The storyline is behind him more, so I feel like he's definitely going to grab it. He has the stats. He has the numbers. The team is going to get up there, and once Young and them fall off again, now if Georgia fold, but I don't see Georgia folding. Not yet. Until they place, the Heisman winner, C.J. Stroud, is coming back to the city. And we're going to hold that Heisman right here, and we're going to hope to get C.J. on that debatable.
I like it.
Why not? Speak that into existence.
All right.
Live from the city. And I got on my Buckeye colors. In case you didn't know, that's debatable is the color code of OSU. Live from the city. Yes, sir.
Well, there you go, boys. Or boys and girls out there watching. Your 2 Heisman front runners, C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young.
I wouldn't be mad
Hopefully,
at Young. I wouldn't be mad if Young got it.
I mean, it's understandable.
Young's a freshman too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so
he'd be
a lot of
He would
pressure.
have redshirted behind Mac Jones last year, so.
Yeah, same thing. But
right? He
he's
learned
first year player.
Yep.
Yeah, so
correct.
it's tough. Both teams, both quarterbacks got a lot of pressure on them, and both of them, neither one has really folded. So we'll keep doing it. But they talk about CJ a little bit more.
I think the first one that loses, that's the one that loses the Heisman. So.
I like that call,
if
Will.
that's the case, like I said, it's Young because Georgia.
Be CJ all day.
Yeah, CJ all day.
Well, definitely some prospects
Like I said,
we might
Big
see.
Smoke.
Yep, prospects we might see in the NFL next year.
Right now, CJ.
So,
let me get
future NFL prospects that'll take us into the NFL.
You already know.
NFL Week 11. You know my boys over here are going to blow this joint up. Minnesota, big win. Cincinnati, big win. We'll get to that in a minute. I'll let you two toot your horns. Sunday night, we had an excellent game last night. Pittsburgh and the L.A. Chargers. The Chargers pulled one out at the end. That's for debate. Did the Chargers win it or did the Steelers blow it? Steelers had kind of a blown coverage on a big Mike Williams touchdown there with about 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. But the defensive coordinator for the Steelers was kind of cheating towards something else. Herbert did his thing, made the right read, made a tough decision, made a great throw. Gets the Chargers the win and a good one. My San Francisco 49ers rolled, that's for sure.
JoJo not here, but Eckler was balling.
Nope, JoJo's busy. But my man, we're going to show you a little clip real quick. We got the 5 touchdowns from my man Jonathan Taylor coming
The
in.
Indianapolis Colts. A lot of people pick this
Not
as
one,
a quote-unquote
not two,
road
not
upset
three,
here, with
not
the Buffalo
four,
Bills
but
coming
five.
in as the 2 seed in the AFC. But Jonathan Taylor had himself a monstrous performance. If you had him in fantasy on the NFL,
Oh, the good stats. What you're watching is Jonathan Taylor tear it up. Got him on one of my fantasy teams. Helped me to a win. He also beat me in one fantasy league. So Jonathan Taylor just doing his thing, piling on touchdowns. We haven't seen 5 touchdowns in a game since Alvin Kamara's 6 touchdowns in week 16 last year. So some Jonathan Taylor highlights, but after this, I'm going to turn it over to Jeremiah and let him toot his blow his Skull Vikings horn. So, all right.
Oh, you're lucky I ain't
Jared, tell me about it. Give me the Vikings rundown.
Oh, what, the fact that everybody counted us out? Oh, no.
Yeah, take it away.
Sign on. But nah, yeah, man.
I'm giving you 2 minutes to tout your Vikings. Go.
I don't even need 2 minutes because even though we did get the big win, it's about time that we came on the other side of a big win. Of course, we did do that to the Chargers the week before, but it came down to a field goal. Like, I like the last drive. I like the game. Our playmakers made plays. They got the Kirk got the ball into the hands of Thielen, got the ball into the hands of Jefferson, got the balls in the hands of Cook, and Conklin made his little ins and outs, did his thing. The defense stood strong in the first half. Aaron finally kind of caught heat. Would I say that broken play at the end for Devontae Adams, it was kind of cool, but, it made it interesting. I was never worried. I'm lying, because that last drive, anybody who's seen my posts, I'm like, yo, man, I can't even watch this kick. I could have. Luckily, it would have went to overtime. Feel me? But nah, the Vikings did do their thing. But nah, everybody's still on the hot seat. Ain't nothing changed. We still 5-5. Yeah, if the playoffs started today, we would be 6 seed. But we still got 7 games left. And now the thing is, we did make it through the meat of our schedule though. Like, we had some tough games, and it do get a little bit easier down the road. With 2 games versus Chicago, another game versus the Lions, so I'm not counting them as wins, but I think that's 3 more wins right there. And then we play the Packers again in Lambeau. Who knows? That could possibly be for the division. Aaron Rodgers and all this crap going around. You never know. We'll see. But I ain't counting on none of that right now. They got to keep balling. The defense still gave up plays. And since Daniil Hunter been down, they did their thing. They did hit Aaron a lot. Even made him fumble a couple of times. We ain't break his collarbone or nothing, but. What you think?
Got nothing to say about them boys, man. Aaron Rodgers and the defense definitely let me down. For the first time, I have put that defense. I've been riding for that defense for a while, thinking they were going to be standing up.
Overrated.
And I put them in on my fantasy team, thinking that defense was going to stand up, and thinking that Minnesota team wasn't all they cracked up to be. And
why?
No, they are what they thought we were.
Because that's how fantasy works.
Yeah. That's how the NFL
Over there
works.
fantasizing and not thinking about the reality.
That's how the NFL's about working about right now. The lower tier teams, as you've seen with the Colts getting dubs, Baltimore getting a shaky shot against
Cincinnati bouncing back.
That's how we would. So you want me to go straight into there, but Buffalo getting annihilated pretty much by the Colts. Then you had Houston beating Tennessee.
There you go.
It's a bunch of teams. Cleveland getting taken to the brinks against Detroit. Right now, it's anybody's game. I kept been saying that for like 3-4 weeks now. Anybody can come in and get a dub. As you've seen against Minnesota, getting a dub against Green Bay yesterday. Now, Cincinnati came in off of
that's 2 straight games we done beat Green Bay. Like, we're not afraid of Green Bay like these other teams in the North. Like, we not.
Familiar with
like that?
Familiar with them for sure.
Like, yeah. And then in the last 10 games now, Mike Zimmer is above 500 against the Packers, and the only Matt LaFleur has only lost to the Vikings in the division. So, like, we're not afraid of the Packers. Now, can we win a division? That's another thing. Like, we always go toe to toe, but they always find ways to beat them other teams that we can't figure out how to beat. We could beat them. Like, ain't nobody. Like, it's just the Packers. I'm about to eat some more cheese.
There you go. Right now, Minnesota is at the 6th seed, as you said.
Yeah, but no, it's still a lot, bro. It's still a lot to prove. Ain't nothing like that's cool for now, but we've been at the 6th seed before, and then we dropped to the 10th. So,
all right. So Vikings are at 6 right now. I believe I checked my stats. The Bengals are right about 5. So, Big Will, give me the Bengals Raiders recap. tout your horn for the Bengals for a minute or two, and then you two talk about your team's playoff chances because you're both right there in the meat of it at about the 6th and 7th playoff spot, something like that. Familiar territory for both of you at 6-4 and 5-5. So, Willie, give me the Bengals rundown, and then give me a little debate of your guys' playoff chances.
So it's still right now for Cincinnati 13-4, say no more. You know, they only got 4 losses. Those 4 losses came against Green Bay, unfortunately Chicago, to the Jets, and 1 to the Browns. Now, each one of those teams that they lost to could have been an easy win, but right now against the Jets, they definitely played down to their opponent.
Some losses that y'all won too, then, if that's the case.
This guy want to keep going and still thinking about that week 1 loss, but it's okay though.
That's sitting on my thing. Like, dang, dog, y'all supposed to get that one. That was a gimme game.
But Cincinnati came out of the bye, and they played exactly how they should have played. They relied on not so much on Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase hookup, but they allowed for Mixon to get in and get some handoffs to really get him warmed up. So if they can continue to do that, really rely on just a ground game with Samaje Perine and Joe Mixon, is going to open that pass game back up. So if Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins can get in where they fit in with Jamar Chase, I mean, you look at the rest of the schedule. It is rivalry week, so we do have them squillers. Anybody that want to say anything, hit me in the chat. You can hit me directly on the line if you got the number. Ain't really worried about that. It's going to be the same way with that team up north, that team out in Pittsburgh. Ain't really worried about either one of those teams. But you look at the rest of the Bengals schedule, is they just have to play their game. They got the L.A. Chargers coming in to Cincinnati, so it's going to be one of those cold games. An L.A. team coming out of a dome, coming into Cincinnati where it's cold, you know, so that should give us a little bit of clout or a little bit more leeway. Then you got San Francisco coming in, the quarterback controversy, Trey Lance, Jimmy G, not really for sure who they're going to come with. And after that, got Denver. Once again, should be another easy dub. Baltimore, no Lamar Jackson. Is Mr. Jackson going to show up? So that's another one. The Chiefs, we see what Chiefs is going to show up every week, but at the same time, their offense have been exposed. And this time when we played Cleveland that very last game, in Cleveland, total different scenario from the first game. Guaranteed. So 13-4 is still on the table. It's not shaking off. So as long as they continue to play their game, health is always a big factor. But if we can remain healthy and the defense can continue to stand strong the same way they played yesterday, only allowing 13 points against a Vegas team that's real, you know, we knew they were going to be without a coach as they had an interim coach. They've been without a player, and Henry Ruggs is out. Deshaun Jackson stepped in. And they played up to that opponent yesterday and then outdueled them in the fourth quarter. So Cincinnati is right on point for where they need to be. They just got to win those games that they're supposed to win. That's the thing. Not letting the Jets beat them, not letting Chicago get a win. Now it's time for you to start really showing up. December, January, that's when football really counts. None of the rest of the stuff, preseason, that's almost preseason. Now it's getting down to the meat of the schedule. So win those games that you're supposed to win. That's it.
Excellent takeaway.
Interesting.
Excellent
interesting,
takeaway.
Interesting.
Still 13-4 is still on the table.
Yeah,
possible.
It's off the table, dog, because y'all not
Gotta win out.
Show me
Y'all
the
not
losses.
winning out.
Show me the losses.
There's San Francisco, 2 weeks, boy.
So
Be there, man.
We got bet games
Let's-
coming up.
Let's
Speak-
head
is
down
it-
to the
Speaking of
513.
San
Is it in
Fran,
Cincy?
speaking of San Fran,
Dude, nice.
guess who got San Fran coming up next?
It's on the rundown. Ain't you see that bet game? Come on, man.
I'm just
we'll
saying.
get
So
there.
yeah, what you trying to do there, buddy?
We'll get there. Where are we going?
All right, cool. So, but
Dude,
now,
I didn't know
we're
San
making the
Fran's
case
in
for why the
Cincy.
Vikings is going to make the playoffs. So at max,
Yep.
Now, the way the beginning of the season has gone, who knows? Because it's really been some toss-up games that we could have had and the games that went the other way. So, at 5-5 through the first 10 with 7 left, if I was just book 2 losses, I feel like I could book 2 losses, and I feel like we could finish the season 5-2 and be looking at 9-7,
Nice.
possibly 10. Well, no, that's 10-7.
Yep. Need one more, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully, I would like to go 11-6.
There you have it. You might see.
I originally had us going 12-5, but 12. We're not going undefeated the rest of the way because we got.
That's a tall order, but I like,
It's not. We got the 49ers coming in next
might
now.
be doable.
Two. My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off, but we
No,
do
you're
got
good.
we got the 49ers coming in next. Both of us are 5-5. Both of us are desperate for a win, so we'll really just see how that goes. If I don't know if we could see Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins, two of the biggest red flags. Not red flags, but like two of the people that talk the most trash about them two quarterbacks.
And you're just unsure what you're going to get from them on a week to week.
The thing about Kirk Cousins is, though, he's actually graded as the number one quarterback right now on PFF. So he's actually been balling, and he did catch a couple breaks yesterday with some dropped interceptions, but he also made the plays. And I just like the fact that he was fearless, because Kirk from back in the day would definitely be flashing deer in headlights. But the 49ers isn't a gimme game. I'm not going to just lay, because I really thought highly of y'all at the beginning of the season. Injuries, yada, 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 stuff happens, right? But so 49ers, then we got the Lions, book it. Ooh, I should be trying to go to that game. Fingers crossed. We got the Squealers.
Book it.
And then we got the Bears. Like I said, we got the Bears. See the Rams and Packers. Rams after Christmas, Packers after January 1st. Now, those could be the two losses, possibly.
See what Rams team we get.
Yeah, because if the Rams team has been showing up. Now, the thing is, my Vikings have owned Matthew Stafford. So we'll see how he look with McVay when we meet. And maybe that team is peaking by then as far as the Rams go, because obviously the Rams kind of got higher expectations than us right now, which is cool. So we'd be an underdog. That's fine. But the Rams and Packers in back-to-back weeks, one of them is tough. Even then, to finish the season with Chicago coming to us, you could book that one. So I ain't worried about Justin Fields. This ain't no state.
They got a fairly favorable schedule coming up. So, definitely a good shot at the playoffs. They got a tough one this week.
5-6.
I got you.
Two hungry teams, two teams that's desperate, that then gave some games away, that need some wins, and that's still fighting for position. That's in a tough. Well, y'all conference, kind of. It's a little different than y'all's conference. We could still technically win ours, but
San Fran has a long outside shot to win the NFC West.
Yeah, no, that's
this weekend, right? But this weekend coming up, they got the Vikings.
Much,
right, it's still in play, right, with the Vikings. Yeah. San Fran's a 3-point favorite because they're at home, so it's basically a pick 'em. Couple notes about the 49ers. Josh Norman actually leads the NFL in forced fumbles with 6. I would not have guessed that.
He has been stripping a lot.
Jimmy G is the only quarterback in the NFL with 4 straight games and a QBR rating of over 100.
That's not happening.
Excuse me. So Jimmy G's hot, and Nick Bosa. Let me see if I can find
Kirk is hotter. Pause.
He isn't.
He is. Ask PFF.
Joey Bosa. I saw that. I pulled that from PFF. We're going to the computer in a second. There's only one NFL player this season with 10 sacks and 15 tackles for losses, and that is the man returning off of a torn ACL, Nick Bosa. Yeah. Definitely making his case for comeback player of the year. I'll give it to him.
Buckeyes all over the place, though.
Buckeyes are all over the place. They put dudes in the NFL. My other notes for the NFL from Week 11. The New England Patriots rolled Atlanta Falcons on Thursday night, 25-0.
The
New England Patriots lead the NFL in point differential at plus 123. Tennessee forgot to show up. Chiefs barely snuck by, kind of a banged-up Cowboys team. Cowboys defense showed up in the second half. Mahomes looked hot early on, but then kind of faded away. So that was a tougher game than originally that first quarter showed.
Thought it'd be a shootout.
But Chiefs are back on their feet. Everybody thought it was going to be a shootout. Total points scored of 28. Definitely hit the unders. Justin Herbert, 90 yards rushing, leads that game. So tonight we've got the New York Giants and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We all look for the Bucs to roll. And
go! Get it back together.
That'll leave us with Ballers of the Week.
Danny Dimes, man. Watch out for Danny Dimes, and if Saquon can come back.
Fumbles.
Okay.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I put on for San Francisco last week. San Francisco came through. I'm telling you, it's something about the NFL right now where the underdog team is prevailing against the team that's supposed to win.
Yep.
So even though you may have that team that's looking shaky, the game is in Tampa Bay, which is not looking too good for New York, but you never know. Give them a chance. Not saying it's going to happen, but just watch. Tune in, Monday Night Football, ESPN.
They're not about to get their Thursday.
You calling that then?
You gotta book it, man.
Not tonight.
Bucks win by 16.
I think it's closer than what we think.
Just call it an upset, Will.
It's tough to call the upset, but
Come on.
Bucks is on the losing streak. It's not looking good.
Give me your prediction.
Come on. What you got?
man, 21-17, New York.
All right.
I like it. Bucks rolling. Let's get out of here.
21-17.
There's got Bucks covering.
They're putting that heat on Tommy Boy. It's only so long that Tom's going to continue to throw those passes. With AB out, Gronk still on the fence. You still got two Mike Evans and who's the other receiver that they got?
Touchdowns this year.
Chris Godwin.
Yeah, Godwin's still out there, but I don't know, man. It's just something about right now that's going to NFL. Like I said, keep being upsets everywhere you look. So just look out for it.
Will's making his early prediction. His baller of the week would be Danny Dimes, but we don't do the show on Tuesdays. So who is our ballers of the week?
Monday night people are always eliminated.
Yep. Because Tommy's going to torch him tonight, or Leonard Fournette. But let's stick with people who have already played.
Leonard is my running back, so
cool.
And the Bucks are my defense, so I need it.
We'll start with pictures first. And Jeremiah, your baller of the week and the man Justin Jefferson, your homeboy, who tore it up against the Pack. So lay it on me, Justin Jefferson.
Man, I thought that play was a touchdown too, bro.
Let's see. Here, let's hit him with.
Hold on, where's my stats?
Let me throw the video in first.
What we got?
Oh, no.
He did it good.
Cousins all day, loaded up, going deep. Jefferson, he's got it, sailing into the end zone.
You're looking at Justin Jefferson's highlights.
Third
This is
down,
why he's my
6.
baller,
Pressure
people.
coming. It's picked up. Cousins sees
step
it,
up in the
unloads it.
pocket, good.
Jefferson
Get it to
is
the
wide open into Green Bay territory. Makes a move inside the 30. Coming, Cousins decked,
Hit him.
throws it up for
Throw it up to
Jefferson.
the playmaker.
He's got
Make a play.
it, and he is in.
So we asked for, coach.
Touchdown,
Start playing
Minnesota.
Ooh, that'll be easy.
Yeah.
Excellent work. So there was Jares. Let me hit you with the man. Jonathan Taylor's my baller of the week. We already touched on it. 5 touchdowns, the best running back in the NFL. He's carrying that Colts organization through the AFC South. We got to go through Tampa Bay, but Colts looking good. JT's looking good. The kid out of Wisconsin.
Taylor in for another touchdown.
We'll let this roll.
5. It's a 1-yard run. The
We've already seen some of
dynamic
these
Jonathan
touchdowns.
Taylor. Goal at the 3. Wentz, Taylor, Doyle with the block, and that opens
Taking
the
him
door.
with him.
Touchdown on the game-opening
Speaking of hard
drive
running, Joe
by the
Mixon, like you were
Colts.
talking about, Joe Mixon put some hitting on people. There's my man touchdown, Taylor, and Big Willie style.
I have to go with my man Jalen Hurts. It was something about one of these
Hey,
plays.
that's his second time being a baller, too.
Hurts keeps. Hurts comes. Hurts has the first down. And Jalen Hurts.
The speed that comes
But
out
he just put it away for the Eagles. Touchdown.
Athlete's better than your athlete that's surfing. Guess what? It's time to go to the beach because I'm gone. Stick my foot in the ground
him doing the
and
things that he's
roll.
doing, not only in the passing game, he only had 147, but he had no touchdowns, no interceptions. So to me, you playing safe. But he had 3 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah.
69 yards, 18 attempts. So he's trusting more in his legs, but you're doing whatever it takes to make sure that your team doesn't get a loss. So he went in there against the Saints, who has different weeks where you're seeing the different Saints defense. Sometimes you see him playing good. Sometimes you see him falling back. But just yesterday, I liked the way that young Hurts, he put on for his city.
That he did, man. That he did.
Yeah, man. These kids are special. These dudes are special. Justin Jefferson tied Randy Moss with 11 100-yard games in his first 2 seasons, which he will be breaking him soon, sometime in this year. In his last 2 games, the 7th. Now he is, back-to-back baller of the week. And I'm not trying to be biased, but the dude been balling, and you can't deny it. So back-to-back weeks, add both of them up. That's 17 catches, 312 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And that's 2 touchdowns in 1 game. So that's crazy. My guy's been balling, and he been grittying it up. I was supposed to learn how to do the gritty from my nephew, so I could get up here and do it. I still can't get it's the feet work. I can't make it. I could just,
There you go.
Just watch a
Close
little bit
enough.
more Jamar Chase. You will get it, man.
nah.
We'll have plenty more
The
opportunities.
gritty
to see
been in the
Chase,
league,
man.
dog. Like
That
the
you
gritty
will.
ain't on Fortnite because of Jamal. I'm gonna tell you that much.
Nah, but it's only so many times you can gritty. You got to get into the end zone to do the gritty, right?
He's got it
I
right.
said that 17 catches, 312 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the last 2 games.
He's still behind Jamar Chase in yards, touchdowns, and catches.
Oh yeah, what's his career stats?
What? Come on, he's played 1 year, dog. What are you talking about? All right, enough of that business. Let me get you up, my boy, real
Where's those
quick.
stats at?
All right, Jonathan touchdown Taylor, 4 TDs. He had 32 rushing attempts, 185 yards on the ground. And he had 3 catches for 19 yards and a receiving touchdown. Dude gets it done.
Boy, KD.
That's what he do. My last note, we're talking about ballers of the week. Your not baller of the week, straight out of Ohio, Baker Mayfield. 15 for 29, 175, 1 touchdown, 2 interception. Yeah, yep, throwing it in the dirt, throwing it high. That's why I don't play him. That's why I play Case Keenum. They barely snuck by with a win. Baker right there with about 50% completion rating. That does not get it done in the NFL. That's your report on Baker Mayfield from Ohio.
Play Case.
Real man. I was assuming if they had Jared Goff, they might have got a win yesterday. Because Swift looks really good. If you take any
Swift,
running back, if he's not picked up, most of the time in any fantasy team, he's picked up right now. To my Swift from the running back from the Lions. But
yes,
if you had any other quarterback that was underneath the center of that game, you might have seen a win from the Lions yesterday against those nasty Browns. And it still hurts my soul that Cincinnati let them fall, or to let them win the way that they did. But that was pretty much all on the legs of Chubb.
I mean, they own that team, man. The Browns been the best team in Ohio for a while now. I mean, that's fact.
That is debatable. And there's your Week 11 recap, ballers of the week.
Been trash.
We got to send you to a quick commercial break. We're going to come back with Will's top 10 and speed recap through the end of it. We'll be right back in just a few, folks.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
In sports, you want to have a player that can get the job done right every time. A real all-star, somebody that's dependable and you can turn to when the game is tough. That player in the audio-video industry is the theater people. From setting up your home's Wi-Fi network and offices, conference rooms, to setting up home theater inside or outside, to setting up the systems to make your home run smarter and safer as well. The theater people can do it all with the quality of professionalism you can expect every single time. That isn't just a great all-around player, that is an all-star. That is why we are the leaders in audio-visual installation in Central Ohio. So call us at 614-604-6327 or check out our website at ttpcolumbus.com to figure out which products will fit you. And don't forget,
We back.
You got it.
Yes, sir, man.
You know what's on the screen. It's time for Big Will's top 10.
Yes, sir.
Take us in.
I can't believe you still got the Packers.
Still got them there, man.
Who we got?
Start off with number 10. Those Buffalo Bills, who's right there on the cuffs of getting kicked out. That was a horrible performance that they had, and I've been saying it. You got a quarterback in Josh Allen who's up and down like a roller coaster, but for the first time, that defense, they just couldn't get it together. But when you got a running back, like you said, Jonathan Touchdown Taylor, who had 5 of them tubs, ain't too much you can do, but that Bills Mafia defense better step up real soon because those, like I said, November, December, and definitely January is when football heats up. So if you ain't performing in those months, it's likely that you're going to be somewhere sitting watching the Super Bowl instead of playing in it. So Bills Mafia and the rest of the fan gang, where's the defense at? So at number 9, got New England. When you talk about a defense, that defense has been atrocious. Who just shut out Atlanta for the first time in Atlanta since 1988. The Atlanta Falcons haven't been shut out. No matter how bad Atlanta's been, they haven't been shut out at home. So the first time since 1988, they got shut out, and that's because of the defense, who's only allowed 50 points in the last 5 games, and the offense that's allowing or has scored 175 points in 5 games as a 5-game win streak. But if you look at those 5 games against the Falcons yesterday, the Browns, the Panthers, the Chargers, and the Jets.
There you go.
That's your stat line. That's your schedule. That's who you just played against 5 games. 175 points. That's a lot of points. But 50, that's the most impressive number. So defense does win championships. Belichick is still trying to prove that Tom Brady didn't do everything in New England. So they steady creeping, moving in. They was went up 1 spot since last week, and they're steady going to be on the move, and they can continue to win. So at number 8, Tampa Bay, they play tonight. Like I said, I got them on upset alert just because those teams that have been favored to win has been getting spoiled. So we'll see what happened to them. They're 4-0 this season at home. So they can remain 4-0 or become 4-1 or go to 5-0. That's up to Danny Dimes. Maybe we get to see Saquon. You got Tony out there. We'll see what New York team shows up. So at number 7, I got those Kansas City Chiefs, who's won 4 straight games in a row, 11 straight against the NFC. They took on Dallas yesterday. It was a defensive matchup. Both quarterbacks kind of showed that the defense was a little troublesome to them. But KC did prevail, winning 19-9. So still haven't seen that dynamic offense that we're so used to seeing out of Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, the rest of his crew. We did see the running back show up. I kept saying they didn't have a running back. Edwards-Helaire did show up, get a touchdown yesterday. So we'll see how they continue to roll as the playoffs are coming in. At number 6, that is the team they lost to, or the team that they beat in Dallas. They moved down 3 spots since last week. I had them at number 3 last week. They are now at number 6. I didn't move them too low, too high, because still, I think that was one game. And in those type of games where it's going to be how we have the team up north against Ohio State this coming up week, and you have Georgia against Alabama, a 1-against-2 type of team, you're going to have somebody that has to lose. So they didn't let that offense come out and really dominate them. They held them to only 19 points. They didn't get enough on the ground from Zeke, I believe. And Pollard couldn't get enough, and
Amari Cooper being hurt was a big part of that offense.
Right,
and he plays a big role.
He only had 216 yards, threw for 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, 28 out of 43. You know, you need a little bit more, but like I said, that run game you would expect for Zeke to really be on the ground a little bit more. I haven't really seen Zeke really emerge. Maybe 1 or 2 games this season.
Up yesterday.
But they were definitely bottled up from that Kansas City defense.
Yep, that's right. And Amari Cooper was out, and then CeeDee Lamb getting hurt in like the second quarter, first half, not coming in the rest of the game. Definitely limited Dak there. So take us into number 5, Big Will.
Number 5, you got Arizona.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, excuse me. No, number 5 is the Rams.
Yeah.
Who, my bad.
You
looking
good?
at the wrong stat.
It's all good.
Number 5 is the Rams. They was on the bye yesterday. They did get moved down 1 spot just because of how this top 4 shakes out. And they were on a bye. The last time they played, they did get pretty much railroaded by the San Francisco 49ers. But we'll see how they're going to come back after this bye week. I think that's going to be one of the teams that really emerges in that NFC to pretty much give Green Bay, teams like Minnesota who has maybe a slight chance. It's going to really show that NFC is kind of tight right now. So the Rams still at number 5. At number 4.
Gotcha.
Baltimore.
Hit him. Yep.
So that Ravens team, they didn't have Lamar Jackson. They went into Chicago, and they prevailed. So they won 13 straight against their NFC opponents. And we'll see what happens with them. I think that defense is a lot stronger than they get credit for after they've had so many injuries this past, season. So with them coming into the later part, we'll see what happens with Lamar. They said it was just an illness. It was not an injury. It was an illness. So hopefully Lamar gets healthy because that's the offense for them. As you see, they only got 16 points against the Chicago Bears who didn't have Khalil Mack. And quite frankly, they got to win with a backup quarterback. My boy Andy Dalton did come in because Justin Fields did go down. So that was kind of the battle of the backups, but they got the dub.
Yeah, Dalton played all right. All right, number 3.
Number 3.
Red Rifle?
got Arizona, who also got a dub against those Seahawks that was not for sure what's going on. Russ is back, but they're not seeming like that Legion of Boom team like they used to be. But Arizona, that defense, how we seen at the beginning of the season, they lost 2 games so far, and it seems like they may be back. Connors, he's emerged as right now, if you don't have a quarterback to get it to D-Hop, don't have a quarterback to get it to A.J. Green, so you had Connors who kind of helped that team out and getting a couple touchdowns for them yesterday. So they're still going to be there for a little bit as long as that defense continues to prevail, and hopefully you get Kyler Murray to come back real soon.
All right.
And number 2, still got that Tennessee Titans. Even though they lost to the Texans, I believe that was mainly because of Tannehill. He threw 4 interceptions. But it's hard to move them when they, like I said, these defenses are strong right here, and they say defenses win championships. So with the 1, 2, and 3 from last week, Dallas, Tennessee, Green Bay, Dallas did get moved out of there because you need more out of a quarterback. Tannehill did throw the 4 interceptions. All but 1 came in the fourth quarter. So we'll see if that defense or offense can get on the go, because you had A.J. Brown. He stepped out for a little bit yesterday. You don't have Derrick Henry. Julio Jones is out. So they're at 2 right now, but I think they're going to be pretty much like that Buffalo team. They can't be moving out of there real soon. And at number 1, I still got Green Bay, even though they went down to the Vikings yesterday. It was a close game, field goal win. Aaron Rodgers did tie Brett Favre for the most touchdowns to the Vikings with 54 touchdowns against the Vikings. But they started off struggling against that. Like I said, I didn't know that the defense was going to let that offense of Minnesota get as much as they did. But I think it's going to be one of those week-to-week things. And because they're the leaders in the NFC, I think they still deserve to be at the top spot, seeing how, like I said, that number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, the top 5 is really fluctuating week to week. So you can have a team move up, move down. Debate it in the chat. Debate it right now. I'm pretty sure my man Bay's got a whole entire, different top 10. But this is why that show is called That's Debatable.
All right, you got about 60 seconds. What do you got different, Jeremiah?
Cheese. I definitely don't got that team number 1.
The Vikings will be the first team.
Up north, number 1. All
right, what you got? What you got different?
All right, so Bills at 10, Chiefs at 9, Pats at 8, Bucks at 7, Rams at 6, Dallas at 5, Ravens at 4, Green Bay at 3. They're 8-3. Titans at 2. And Arizona back at number 1 with a 9-2 record and hoping to get their starters back, looking good.
Okay. Yeah, a little shake-up. Not a whole lot there. You both have the Cowboys ahead of the Chiefs, despite the Chiefs beating them, but I understand that. Chiefs with 4 losses. Tennessee's still the number 1 seed in the AFC.
College football.
Arizona's the number 1 seed in the NFC. So there you have it, top 10. That can change any given week. And like Will said, it's rivalry week here in the NFL, so we got a lot of good ones coming up.
Well, all right.
Jer and I will make a bet on Minnesota and San Francisco at the end of the show.
Cool, I'll bring you a shirt to wear, buddy.
Better be an XL. I can't fit in any shirts you got, man.
I wear it large.
All right. Okay, we've got. Let me kick this over here. Excuse me.
Thanksgiving Day games.
It is Yes, they are. It is
Spend time with your family instead of watching any NFL.
Will has got that right. So the NFL, it's Thanksgiving week. Garbage matchups on Thanksgiving. I'll lay them out right now. Noon, Bears at Lions. No good. Afternoon game, Raiders at Cowboys. No good. Evening game, Bills at Saints. Saints looked real bad against the Eagles, and the Bills looked real bad against the Colts.
How did the Saints get this game?
So Thanksgiving Day, rake your yard, help your mom out, do the dishes, help cook in some of those things. Don't worry about the NFL. Sorry, Roger Goodell. Not sorry. So rather than debate the junk games on Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving is all about food. Turkey, ham, whatever, that's always the debate. So what I want to debate now is the best side dish.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm definitely
What's
a mac
your
and
favorite
cheese guy.
Thanksgiving side dish?
I'm definitely that good mac and cheese with the extra cheese. Yeah, that home cook.
right.
You know what it looked like. You can tell when the store bought, and you know when somebody really took the time, nourished, and loved that thing.
Store bought is much more orange. Macaroni and cheese, like real mac and cheese, is more like yellow cheese. You know.
Yeah, it's like
All right, mac and cheese is yours, Will.
Hey, I'm a sweet guy, so I like the sweet potatoes, the
Candy
candy
yams.
yams, sweet potato souffle.
There you go.
Any of those sweet potatoes that's going to be right there, and it's little got the thick syrup, just a little bit crispy on the top. If you got the souffle, I'm a real souffle type guy,
Ooh,
but a little bit of crispiness from the cinnamon, and the oats, and all that. But yeah, man.
Yeah. So
We's hungry.
Quick
As
pivot. What you guys
Tyrese
thankful
would
for?
say.
What you guys thankful for? Something different. What you guys thankful for? It's a new Thanksgiving.
This Thanksgiving, there's a lot that I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving. Mainly the opportunities I've been afforded this year to spend time with my family, to learn a new skill, a new trade, get the opportunities to do this with my two good friends over here. So I'm very appreciative and grateful for my opportunities, the support and love of my family and friends that I have around me. So I'm glad to be here in Columbus, Ohio this year. Things are on the up and up. So definitely looking forward to Thanksgiving, spend time with my mom and my two uncles. So family and new opportunities. How about you guys?
What's up, Will? What you thankful for?
Man, I'm just thankful for at this time in life. I'm just thankful for life, period. In my life right now, in my family, we've had a couple of deaths, like really back to back, and we even had one today. Maybe he's, it's still a call. I don't know, but just life in general. We take life for granted for so much, and in this day and age where we got COVID, you got R.I.P. to my man. Young Dolph, who was just, man, can't even go get cookies and got killed. So at this point in life, man, you just got to take opportunities and really appreciate everything that you have in your life. If you're still breathing, you still got the opportunity to get up and do something different the next day. And if you're not terminally ill, don't have any illnesses, continue to just keep grinding. If you're in a situation that you feel down, you feel depressed, and just continue to move forward because a new brighter day is always on the horizon. So that's all I want to be thankful for. My family, of course. Like Ryan said, the opportunities to do what we're doing, just be around, good camaraderie with these guys. But most importantly, just life in general.
I like it.
Appreciate it, man. That's what's up.
Yep.
For starters, I'm just thankful just to be here, bro. There's no time where I ever thought I'd be here doing what we're doing right now. I ain't never see it. Other people might have. It was never on the sights for me, man. So I'm just thankful for that. And I finally have something going forward and looking forward to. I'm thankful for That's Debatable. Us, outside of just this stuff, I'm thankful for family, my kids, my lady, everybody, God, mom, sister, just everybody who been there. It's like in a year that's been super solid. We graduated, finished school, stuff like that. I've also had some trials. Everybody, like you just had some tribulations. Yep. Everybody had their own problems. Now, I don't voice my stuff like I used to. I found a different way to kind of give me my outlet now. Yeah. But man, I'm just thankful to be here because Lord knows I could have been anywhere, and I'm here doing this. So I appreciate it.
That's the truth.
If you watching, man, it's this Thanksgiving episode, man. Put down what you thankful for, man.
Yep, and yeah, thankful for all you tuning in out there, watching us do our thing. So you could be, time is the most valuable thing you got. You could be doing anything else in the world. So we appreciate you tuning in and watching us. And on the question of how the New Orleans Saints got a Thursday night game, Shard Nolan tuned in the chat, and they are retiring Drew Brees' number in New Orleans. So they gave him Thursday night. That'll be a big deal. Thanksgiving Day, Drew Brees was always a big draw on Thanksgiving Day whenever the Saints played. So giving Drew Brees his retirement, one of the all-time greats to ever play the position of quarterback in the NFL. So,
yeah, I want to break down these Thanksgiving games. Even though they may be garbage games, you circle the first game on the schedule, which is the Bears and the Lions. The Lions can potentially get their first win.
It should be a good game.
Lions get their
and then you got America's team against the Cowboys against the Raiders. That's the Cowboys, so that's why they're there. And Nolan just said, the Saints going to be retiring Brees' jersey. But is that Mafia team going to show up?
The Bills Mafia?
The Bills Mafia, can you show up?
spoiled.
Or what New
Jersey
Orleans team's going to show up too, man?
Never know. 5-5, 6-4.
Trevor
it's
Siemian.
been done. Though. It's really been a wrap. Now they got that dub, and it was like a magical win, but they're about to start just falling on down. The defense can't hold up that offense that long. They don't got a go-to weapon for real. Their go-to weapon is the running back. So that's with Mike Thomas out and nobody to really sling the ball. It's slow. They did get a lucky dub against the Bucks. Maybe they got the Bucks number, but even if they beat the Bucks twice, the Bucks still gonna win the division because it's not gonna come down to that. So it's nothing really that the Saints could do. The Bills better get it together though, because they're supposed to be the contender. On the Drew Brees thing, I mean, as a bitter Vikings fan, it's almost like F Drew Brees because I remember Bountygate. I ain't gonna forget. You know, like I'm still holding on to week 1. Yeah, I'm still holding on to Bountygate too. Like they robbed us of a Super Bowl cheat team. You know that whole little scandal. You know, but anyway, shout out to he is an all-time great though. That's just a bitter Vikings fan. Now just looking at the game, Drew Brees is awesome. I did like him when he was a Charger. You know, him and LT was cold before the shoulder injury, and after Katrina came back, he deserves it. He definitely deserves it. We thought he was gonna get a ring, and it's slow. The Vikings kind of ruined that. Bucks. A couple other teams, Rams,
He got the one ring after Katrina.
Yep.
Yeah, they cheated.
All right, well, it's that 8 o'clock hour. We're short on time here, but.
Oh, no. We getting into basketball.
Yep. We're going to get into the NBA. A little quick breakdown with Jared's levels. Get you folks, there is no NBA on Thanksgiving Day. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe it's all on NBA on TV. So NBA will start to take over your network schedule a little bit more as you get into December, January. Those things as the NFL and college football die down. So to keep us abreast of the league and what's going on, Jared's going to hit us with his levels, and we're just going to bring you in hot with the bottom tiers. We're going to start with our lay it down and our teams that still have some hope.
So, of course, these guys aren't the ones that matter, but we got to show everybody love in some sort of way. So they still get to play on the graphic, even if it's at the bottom. Because it's levels, and you got to start somewhere. So you're either going to build up, some of them teams are just going to lay it down. All right, now, I wish you had the whistle name. That's this week's, though. So last week's, it's been some changes from the week prior. I'm just trying to look. Who all here? So the Rockets, Pelicans pretty much ain't doing nothing. Pistons, I don't got the tape right now. I don't think I sent it to you. So, but everybody seen the brawl last night. Pistons almost got a dub last night, but they didn't pull it off after the big Isaiah Stewart, LeBron James. Didn't you say Bron got suspended for a game?
Bron got 1 game. Stewart got 2.
Yeah, Stewart got 2, of course. Well, all he did was chase after the guy. He wasn't gonna really. Who knows? But anyway. Yeah, so at least they got suspended. Some players in the NFL, they could just lie and get away with it. But whatever. All right,
That's it.
Pelicans, Rockets, Magic, all down. I have brought down the Kings because Luke Walton just got fired, and plus it was looking slow for them anyway. Now the question is, how soon does Luke Walton get a job? Because every time Luke Walton get fired, I promise you he gets picked right back up. If you noticed it, from Golden State to the Lakers to Sacramento to whoever he was at prior. But no, actually he got fired from LA and got hired in Sacramento the next day. I don't even know how. Anyway, that was never a good choice, guys. Hawks fell. The Raptors still got hope. Fred VanVleet is trying to keep that team afloat. Honestly, I just feel like somebody need to trade for Fred VanVleet because he's a championship caliber player. He knows what it takes to win. Somebody should get him just like they're trying to get Siakam. And because I just seen a Portland trade for. They didn't happen, but I just seen a trade rumor of Siakam and Chris Boucher to go to Portland to help out Dame and them because Dame and them are starting to heat up, but we're not there yet. So Pacers, they just really need to get their guys back. They could possibly still be a playing team. And the Timberwolves, free Big Cat. We could go on. Atlanta, that was just like somebody sprinkled some pixie dust and they flew to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I don't know what happened. They fell back down. Let's go. Mid tier, where we at? What do they call it? Don't sleep.
Don't sleep. You ready to not sleep?
All right, these are the teams. Last time the Cavs was down. The Cavs showed me enough in these last 10 games that they can move up. Just don't sleep on them. In the case of the Sixers, the Lakers, the Knicks, y'all need to wake the fuck up. That's what y'all need to do. It's not don't sleep on them. It's wake up. Yeah, LeBron punched Isaiah Stewart, and he woke up. and now they gone. So it's another game without Bron, whether if it's injury or suspension. It's always something with the Lakers. It's always something with the Lakers, but it's the best franchise or whatever. They're gonna get the most talked about. And plus, they got the NBA ambassador. The Knicks just the Knicks just lost to the Bulls last night. They need to get it together. The Clippers is finally getting back hot. And we'll see where they at in the next 10 games, and maybe they can move up. Celtics, they was in don't sleep. And they was looking like they was gonna fall down to still have hope, but they've been balling and they could get it together to eventually they might be able to get into grind mode. Charlotte, they look good, but we still need to see more. Portland is waking up. Dame has finally found a shot. He was balling last night, and they had a tough. I thought my Bulls was gonna blow them out, but they ended up coming back and getting a dub. Memphis, John Morant is still the most exciting player in the NBA. What's next? Grind time.
Yep, that's right. John Morant is one of the most exciting players in the NBA.
Oh yeah, Denver. Just because I didn't mention Denver, the Jokic thing.
Got you. We'll go right back.
The Jokic thing. Michael Porter Jr. back in Florida to figure out what's wrong with his back. To get a second look.
Yeah, that hurts.
Still no Gary Harris. Like their best baller right now is Will Barton. Yeah, Denver's about to fall in. They gonna still have hope. It's gonna be. Anyway, yeah, okay, that's Denver. All right, now we can go to
Denver's asleep and going to a sleep. That's what
they also need to. They fall in the wake the up category.
They are not in the grind time category.
Heavens no, they was. But so grind time now. Utah actually looks good. Utah is third in the West, 11-5. So they I need to see a little bit more. It's respect on the Bucks' name still, so the Bucks really should be in don't sleep, but. I need to see 10 more games. They had a big win against LA, but beating LA doesn't mean anything these days. Washington looks good. Need to see more. Chicago moved up. Miami moved down because they're 4-6 in their last 10 games. Chicago 6-4 in their last 10. Washington is actually second in the East, which is crazy. Actually, no, because the ratings and stuff changed. Actually, they're third. You know who's first in the East? The Bulls. And if they keep it up, they going to be like that. But not even if they keep it up, they still could be in grind time because we need to see all the way up until February with them. But, yeah, so Miami fell down. They did look like we like that. Now, they still got a we like that pedigree. But I need to see more. These last 10 games, they didn't look good. Tyler Hero has kind of came back down to earth.
Gotcha.
Jimmy Butler injuries, all that. I really still don't think they really got a great scoring option over there. Now, Bam is cool, but he's not going to get you over the top. And Jimmy's my guy, but as a Bulls fan, I know he's not enough. So that's grind time. But these teams are – look out Bucks because they might be falling. Who knows? They eventually they're going to – because eventually they need to wake the up. All right. Who we like that?
Right. We like –
Who like that?
Just
3 teams.
Just a couple of teams. That's right.
So, of course, out of the East, Brooklyn, they was, when I made this, they was at the current 1 seed, but with Chicago's win, they're tied for – with Chicago's win last night and beating Brooklyn a week ago, we are now – the Bulls are now currently the 1 seed, but they not we like that yet. They got a ways to go.
And I'm looking at this right now. Eastern Conference, Bulls 1, Nets 2, Miami Heat in 3rd, Wizards 4, Hornets 5. And in the Western Conference,
see on mine, I got the Wizards 3rd because they're 11-5. Miami's 11-6.
There you go. Let me switch it to games back. You're correct. And then the Eastern Conference, the Western Conference, you got Golden State at 1. Phoenix at 2, Utah Jazz at 3, Clippers at 4, Mavericks at 5. So just a couple of teams in that rare air, Jer, it looks like.
And the Suns, shout out to the Suns, man. They did. I was beating the drum for Chris Paul in the MVP last year.
Yep.
I think that was my introduction to you guys, was the Chris Paul drum.
Pretty much.
So, but they're finally, after the first couple games, they look slow, but they're now on a 12 game win streak. They're currently the hottest team in the West right now, but they're still behind Golden State. So even with them being the hottest team, Golden State still got the best record in the league. Golden State is the only team to score 100 points each game this season. Golden State is also the highest point, got the highest point average this season. They're looking like the teams prior to KD. I like this Golden State team. One, that Klay comes back. He's cleared to play a week before Christmas, so we should be. He's in practice now. He should be playing around Christmas, but even before Christmas, which means he's really ready to play now. But they're still taking it slow. No need to rush him back because they look good. I like Gary Payton Jr., Jordan Poole, Wiggy, Iggy, who else they got? Otto. They got the weird names over there. But and Steph, the teams is gluing to Steph, and they don't even have to. Even with them gluing to Steph don't even gotta. He's still gonna get you 50, 40 every now and then, but he ain't even got to do that. The other night he went 2 for like 12, 2 for 14, and he only had like 8 points, and still they got the dub, like a big dub. So they did have some easy games in there, but they got big wins in there as well, like wins over the Lakers. But again, beating the Lakers doesn't mean much these days. They did beat Brooklyn. They blew out Chicago. I'm waiting to see the Suns match up, but last time I checked, even though this isn't the Clipper Chris Paul, Steph has always owned him. So I would like to see that matchup. It's definitely in the playoffs. But yeah, two out of the West right now. It's only one team that the last time, like I said, it was Philly in there, it was Miami in there, but that's the first 10 games of the season. We passed that. So yeah, now there's only teams that's like that, and that's Jared's levels.
I like it, dude. Very good recap there, or overview. Helps me figure out who to watch out for.
Yeah. Quick note. Top 5 scorers. You got Kevin Durant at 28. Steph Curry with Kevin Durant at 28.6, best player in the world. Steph Curry 28.4, second best player in the world. Giannis, it really goes like this too. Giannis Antetokounmpo third, 27.8, and he's the third best player in the world in that order. So and then look who we got here: DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine at 4 and 5 in the top 5 in scoring, with Paul George sitting right out of the top 5. That's your top 5.
Boom. All right. I like it. You guys you want to come up with a cape real quick? We're about out of time here, folks. We're getting kicked out of the school because we're running past. But that's okay.
You already know.
Jose's cool. He's letting us chill for a minute. If anybody, what did I do?
No, but we about to get out of here. So.
Yep. So week 12 of the NFL. Let's see. I'm gonna put my cape on for.
This is last week's. Where's next week's?
Let's see. Week 12 in the NFL. I don't want to do it again. Cape for my San Francisco 49ers.
Hey, I did my Vikings 3 weeks in a row. Pause.
Next week, I'm caping for my man, Jonathan Taylor. Touchdown Taylor. Let's go with that. They got the Buccaneers rolling into town. That'll be a big one. Tampa Bay at Indianapolis, so I need Jonathan Taylor to run all over that stout Bucs defense and knock Tom Brady down to earth a little bit more. That's what I'm caping for next week. Oh, whoop, bam. There we go. There's my Superman cape graphic for my Superman, Jonathan Touchdown Taylor. You guys got one off the top of your head?
I do.
Excuse me.
I'm going to put mine on for that defense of Green Bay to show back up. They didn't show up against the Vikings, and they got the Rams coming in to Green Bay.
I need the Rams to win.
So I'm looking for to see if they can come back to life. They've been doing really well these past couple of weeks.
Y'all cheated to beat Drew.
But the Rams are going to be coming looking for blood coming off of this bye week. I don't know if I don't want to say a hatred for the Rams. It's just they got so many all-stars or Pro Bowlers on that
LA
team.
Thing,
but when it's the Lakers, it's okay.
Hey, that's why I said I don't want to say it, but I just want to see if Green Bay can show back up. Of course, I want to see Cincinnati prevail against, the Squillers, but
for sure. I like that. That's a good cape.
That's a good cape.
Yep.
So outside of my own team, I'm actually cape for Mac Jones.
Nice.
The Tennessee Titans, didn't they lose? But it was one of them ugly, weird losses. So yeah. But Tennessee Titans has been one of the top teams this year. So regardless of Derrick Henry down or not, Mac Jones and them has been hot. I would like for them to keep Ryan hot and go in there and get actually defend Gillette and go ahead and get them who they playing? Get them Titans a quick shave. So yeah, go ahead, Mac Jones, do your thing.
Dude, that'll be a good one too. Tennessee's head coach Mike Vrabel, former Patriots linebacker, defensive linebacker. There you go.
Also a Buckeye.
So was coached under Bill Belichick. So Vrabel had his number a couple years ago in that big AFC playoff game. So very exciting there. Mac Jones has been playing well. Yeah. Mistake free is the key. So definitely a good call there.
Rookie of the year, man.
Good call for our Superman capes next week. All right, for the rest of it, it's been a quick, fast Monday night here on Thanksgiving week. Here on That's Debatable. As always, I'm Ryan Dietrich, the voice of reason. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan's Fingers. My fingers run the computers. And I'll let my boys take us out. Thank you for tuning in. Take us away, guys.
Well, I go by the name of Will Ward. You can follow me on Instagram, Will Ward 21, as you see right there. Make sure you follow. Continue to tune in to That's Debatable every Monday between the hours 6:30, 6:45. Get it together. Appreciate you tuning in. And just make sure you spend some time with your family this coming up weekend. If you're going out playing some Turkey Bowl football, be careful. Remember, you got to still go back to work on Monday.
It's Monday. I got to go back to work Friday. I get Thursday off. I got to go back Friday. They can't get holiday pay. You don't go back Friday. Oh, they think they slick. All right. Yeah, so we already know it's that week. It's that week. Michigan fans, keep that energy, because I know I'm going to have it next Monday, and I guarantee we getting the dub. So you already know, OHI. Yo, this is That's Debatable. We are That's Debatable, and I'll see you next week. Have a happy Thanksgiving, people.
We out. Here we go.
Who the greatest? No, not the latest. Ain't that debatable? Yeah. Check the stats. This the Jared Willer Ryan show. 9 no days off. You been grinding, I've been grinding too. Made it through the storm, great clouds. You see me shining through champion and state of mind. I've been balling better D up. After we win it all, that's the only time my feet up. Blood, sweat, tears, hard work. With the passion, the killer in the game. I hop in and go assassin. Nah, I can't be average. Nah, I can't be last. Just always first another. Doubter said I was bluffing. See him after I went.